What's up, gamers? It's your boy, JKon. Welcome to another video. With each region completing their kickoff tournament, we have now confirmed which of the 8 teams will represent their regions heading to Masters Madrid. From the Pacific region, we have Genji and Paper Rex. From EMEA, we have Carmine Core and Team Heretics. From China, we have Edward Gaming and Fun Plus Phoenix. And of course, with America's completing this past weekend, we have Sentinels and Loud. Riot has also provided us with a lovely video explaining the tournament and how the format is going to go, which we will watch and I will give my thoughts on and kind of react to. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Please go follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/JKonTV. I've been streaming over there recently, and of course, I've been covering the VCT America's Kickoff and co-streaming that event. I don't think I'll have co-streaming rights for Madrid, but nonetheless, I enjoy hanging out with you all live, so you should go check me out there. Anyways, without further delay, let's get into it. Alright, let's get into the video that Riot has provided us and see what the breakdown for the tournament in Madrid will be. Ooh, MacLeod.
Ready. From March 14th to March 24th, the best Valorant players in the world will converge for Masters Madrid.
Oh yeah.
The first global event of the 2024 Valorant Champions Tour will feature 8 teams representing the 4 international leagues. Teams earn qualification for Masters by finishing top 2 at their respective kickoff tournaments. Masters will be split into 2 parts, the playoff bracket and the all-new Swiss stage. First up, we have the Swiss stage, which will narrow the competition from 8 teams to the top 4. To advance out of Swiss, teams will need to secure 2 wins before they accumulate 2 losses. Each match will be a best-of-3 series.
Love that.
Before the tournament, participants will be drawn into 4 matches. In the first round, we'll see teams who won their kickoff events face off against all the second-place team finishers. No same region matchups allowed here. Those who win round 1 will move up, and those who lose will find themselves in elimination matches. Between each round, 2 fully random draws will decide who plays who, and from here on out, regional fratricide is fair game.
Ooh.
After 3 rounds of Swiss competition, we'll have our 4 playoff bracket contenders.
Okay, hang on. Sorry. One sec. I want to talk about the Swiss system really quick and why I think it's really good. If you're familiar with Counter-Strike, Swiss system is something that you'll see very commonly. They use it for major qualifications. Currently, the RMRs have completed for the Copenhagen major that is happening very soon, and the Americas just ran through a similar bracket. So if you don't know how Swiss works, I think MacLeod gave a pretty good explanation. But one of the things that I wanted to highlight here that I think is really good is that they said that there will not be an inter-regional matchup here early on, but they said it's available for the other matchups. This was something that I was talking about on my stream during the Sentinels and Loud game, where I think that is one of the best options that you could have. And if they wanted to, they could technically enforce non-interregional matchups throughout the entire tournament. And I think I graphed it out, but if that was the case, you wouldn't have a regional matchup if they forced it until the grand finals if both of them made it there. But I guess they're taking that out and only putting it in the first section. So I think that's not too bad. Overall, I really like the system because it will narrow down teams. I think keeping it best of 3 is really big. Right now in the Americas RMR, they played best of 1s, and that is a really bad system in my opinion. But I really like the Swiss system, and you can really just see, even if they have a tough matchup early on, the best teams usually should make it through Swiss depending on their matchups. One of the things that Sliggy said in his video that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to bring up as well was the draws for this. So in Counter-Strike, they would do a live team draw. I don't remember if they did it for this RMR, but at least in the majors they do, where you will have somebody on stage usually after the matchups, and they'll draw live the teams and who will be facing in the next matchups. And that's always a lot of hype. I know that Riot does the draws in the background, so I think bringing it up into the foreground and us being able to see it during the tournament will definitely add a lot more spice to this Swiss system, considering that they are allowing inter-regional matchups past the first matchup, which I think is super dope. All right, let's continue on with the video.
A random draw will pair the competitors.
Probably the best way to play an 18 bracket, honestly.
And we'll close out with a best-of-5 series in the lower and grand finals.
Okay, just quick waffling on this section right here. This is just a pretty much standard double elimination playoff bracket. pretty standard for a top 4. I like how the lower final will be best of 5. Same with grand finals. That is kind of standard that Valorant's done so far. So I'm glad that they're keeping this format forward.
Last team standing will be the Masters Madrid champion. Mark your calendars. Tune into the action and catch the grand finals on March 20th.
I missed it a little bit. So we have 5 days straight of the Swiss stage, which I think is totally fine. You have the first matchup, second matchup, the 1-0s and the 0-1s. And then this will be the first team to get out. And this will be the lower bracket to see who gets eliminated. And this will be the last teams to get out. So if you go 2-0 in the bracket, you have, if they follow normal protocol, they'll have a 2-day advantage to kind of prep and prepare compared to the teams who will have to face the lower part of the Swiss system. Give us 2-day break, which I think is really nice. Content creators, we can work during that time. And then you have 4 days for the playoff bracket. First matchup, this is to go to grand finals and lowers. Lower final, grand final on the 24th. I think it's pretty good, pretty standard, quick event.
Finals on March 24th.
I like it. There's not a super long delay, especially because there's only 8 teams going, so pretty dope.
For the first time. For more information and updates, visit valorantesports.com and
cool. I kind of talked over that a little bit there, but at the end they said that they will be revealing the new controller agent and they'll have a show match on stage, probably showing off the new agent. I think this is really fun. I've really enjoyed the show matches that they've done so far. At Masters Tokyo last year, that's where they introduced TDM. And at Champions, they released Gekko, which was played on stage, which was super dope. So I'm always a fan of this kind of system. I think it'll be really cool. One of the things that I want to just quickly talk about that I don't think is necessarily getting talked about a lot is championship points. So currently, winning Kickoff will give you 3 championship points, but everybody else who did not win that event gets 0. So the people who went 0-2 in their group stage get the same amount of points as, say, Paper Rex, who came in 2nd place. That I think is really, really big because 3 championship points, of course, will give you a head start in qualification for champions. They changed the system a little bit this year. So in order to qualify from champions, I believe it's the top 3 at the end of the playoffs from split 2 that get the first 3 slots as champions, and then the 4th slot goes to the team with the highest championship points. So having 3, which is equivalent to 3 regular season wins and playoff wins, which is a lot, I think goes really, really far. Another thing to also consider is that only the winners of Madrid get championship points as well. So if the winners of Madrid also get 3 points, that's a huge, huge lead comparatively to everybody else in the region. That is basically winning 6 out of 10 of your regional matches, which is pretty solid for a lot of teams going forward. So I think winning this event will be beneficial, especially for a lot of those 2nd place teams to stay on par with the 1st place teams. But at the end of the day, I don't know if championship points are going to mean too much because of the first 3 seeds making it from the split 2 playoffs. So that's just something to chew on and just something to consider a little bit. So one of the things that we got to learn was the opening matchups for this event. And let me tell you, they are some banger matchups. And I don't even know if I can make predictions right now 100% because this is crazy. So we'll start out over here. Of course, we have Genji facing off versus Loud. I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup. Genji play very standard, but they're very good. Texture is probably the best duelist coming in, if not one of the best duelists coming into this entire event. I think I'll do a ranking of the players. Maybe I'll do that in another video, but I think this is going to be a very close matchup. Banger, in my opinion. Banger. You get to test the IGL of Sadak, who's super experienced, versus the newer Munchkin. Although he has IGL'd a little bit in the past and co-IGL'd, this is his first time full-time leading, so it's going to be interesting. Next, we have EDG versus Paper Rex, which is, of course, the Boogaloo. These teams always seem to face each other in every single international event that they come across, and I don't know how I feel necessarily about this matchup. EDG looked good, but their finals performance was not very convincing, and they really won off like super big heroic plays and a lot of throws from FPX. Versus Paper Rex also didn't look super good overall. They did well in some of their matches, but again, they had a lot of heroics from their players. So this matchup can go either way. It's going to be interesting. Next, we have Sen versus Team Heretics facing the home crowd, NA's Pride Sentinels. I think this is going to be a banger matchup. Team Heretics looked really good throughout all of Kickoff, and they definitely have the firepower that might be able to match Sen. So it's going to be interesting how they play. We'll see how Rien's plays is playing on LAN. As we know, he's been playing from home throughout all of Kickoff due to visa issues, but he should be able to be there for Madrid. So we're going to see how he experiences a LAN environment. And last but not least, we have Carmine Corp versus FPX. This is going to be also a very banger matchup just because I think both teams kind of play unique in their own kind of play styles, and of course K Corp have been steamrolling everybody and have been the surprise of the season. So overall it's going to be crazy. I think these matchups are absolutely absurd and we're in for a really big treat. And last but not least, I wanted to check out a few fun facts from this Reddit post and just talk about them a little bit because I thought they were pretty fun. Fun facts about Masters Madrid. America's Kickoff is the first domestic event lost for Loud since the team was created. Technically, Americas is an international league, but you get my point. Loud have won every single Brazilian event that they were in, and when they came to Americas last year, of course, they won Americas, and this is the first time that they've lost. Pretty crazy. Masters Madrid will be the first LAN that none of Victor Crashies and Buzz Mako Stacks will be present at since Reykjavik 2021. That is the first international LAN that we've had. That Tens, conveniently enough, was there and won MVP, you know, shout out to him. And that's actually really crazy. This broke a really long streak. The Victor Crashies combo, I'm not as surprised by just because of how many changes have gone around them in their roster. But the Buzz Mako Stacks one was a big one for sure, for me at least. Masters Madrid will be the first LAN that Fnatic, Durka, and Boaster is not present at since Masters 3 Berlin in 2021. That is crazy as well. That's another kind of core of international events that people are not there. And we're in the new age of the rookies, the young guns. I did say it in my roster mania videos that these young guns are here to take over, and they have already taken over. It's crazy. I love it. I love it. Masters Madrid will be the first LAN that FPX and Navi did not qualify for since Champions 2021. They did not actually appear at Reykjavik 2022 due to visa issues. That is correct. They did win the split for 2022 spring, the EMEA split there, but because of visa issues with the Ukraine war going on at that time, they had to give up their spot to G2, who attended that event. Masters Madrid will be the 5th consecutive LAN that EDG have attended. They have qualified for every LAN that they have been eligible for. It's not surprising since as soon as China was able to get the slot, they have been the best team in China consistently. I still think they're the best team in China, but they have some things to work on for sure. But I mean, I still love them. Out of 15 World Championship winning players, only 3 will be present at Masters Madrid: Sadak, Les, and Saucy. Incredibly, out of all the LAN winning players, only 4 will be present at Masters Madrid: Ten, Sadak, Les, and Saucy. Not surprising. I mean, if you look at the previous post up above, Fnatic's not there. They of course won multiple events, and FPX won. They're not there. Optic won. They're not there. So not surprising at all. Pretty crazy nonetheless. Excluding China, because they were in a partnership region last year, only Loud and Paper Rex have no tier 2 players on their rosters from last year. I believe that is just for the Madrid teams, just for the 8 Madrid teams. Out of the 8 teams that are attending Madrid, Loud is the only team to get farther than the second round of the lock-in tournament last year. That is really true. If I remember correctly, a lot of them got knocked out in like the first round. A lot of them were first rounded for sure. And of course, Loud made it to the grand finals and lost in an incredible best of 5. Amazing thing. In every region outside of China, the 2 teams that are attending Masters Madrid were placed into the same group for their kickoff event. Furthermore, every single eventual kickoff winner ended up losing their first match against the eventual runner-ups of the tournament. These teams went a combined 1-6 in these matches, with Genji winning the sole map over Paper Rex. That is 100% true, and I'm going to glaze myself right here because I did make that fun fact point right here. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, at JKon 101. Anyways, it's something interesting so far from the VCT kickoff tournaments. Genji lose to the finals team in groups, wins play-in, makes grand final, wins. Carmine Corp lose to finals team in groups, wins play-in, makes grand final, wins. Sentinels lose to finals team in groups, win play-ins, make grand finals, and guess what? They won. Outside of Sentinels, every single grand final went to 3-1, which is also a really fun, crazy fact. Anyways, I think that will be it for me and this video. Let me know what you think about Masters Madrid and all of these teams heading for them. I will be making videos coming out talking about some of the teams, and Kickoff overall is something in the works. Sorry, I've been a little bit busy, but nonetheless, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of content now that we have VCT back. And oh my god, it's been such a blessing that it's back. I am so happy that Valorant's back. It's been so much fun to sink so much time into it and just really fall back in love with just the game and pro esports. It's just a great time. And honestly, let me tell you, I have watched so much Sunset and I have become so critical of Sunset defense that it's absurd. I think I could be an analyst on Sunset. No cap. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, stay hydrated. Peace.